Hi everyone, this is Dr. Joanny Liu, founder of Extraordinary Sports Medicine and Concussion Answers, where we help athletes reverse their injuries, get back in the game they love, and improve their lives. And I'm just starting a new series of hashtag never quit stories because there's so many examples out there of people who have persevered, who have gone on to make good on their potential. And I want to share these stories with you so that you can be inspired just like I am by their stories. Because, you know, we're all looking for something good in our lives. We're all looking for something that we can do with our lives. The thing is that we have to have a goal first, and then we've got to be willing to go out and get that goal. And so I want to introduce you to a guy named Akeem Haynes, who's a Olympic bronze medalist. And he hails from my hometown of Calgary, Alberta. And man, you know, it's really cool the way he's been able to live up to his potential, because he definitely has a story that is worth telling, okay? So let's just back to me now. Hi, so here I am. And I want to tell you about Akeem. He was born in 1992. He was born in Jamaica, that beautiful sunny island of very fast sprinters, because Usain Bolt comes from there. Many sprinters from Jamaica are people who run sub 10 seconds. I mean, it's just an incredible feat. And of course, Canada's Donovan Bailey, one of my heroes, he hailed from Jamaica originally too, and he was an Olympic champion back in the Atlanta Summer Games in 1996. So he was the Olympic gold medalist and also won a gold medal in the Canadian relay team. So it was pretty awesome. But the story is about Akeem today. And his family moved from Jamaica to Canada to, of all places, Yellowknife in the Northwest Territories, which is a very cold spot in Canada because it's up in the Arctic, okay? So I guess it's kind of a strange place for a Jamaican to end up. But eventually they did move down south, and that's how they ended up in Calgary, Alberta. And when Akeem was 15 years old, he was going to Crescent Heights High School, where he was on the football team. So at first, that's where his attention was. He wanted to play football. But his football coach recommended that, and phys ed teacher recommended that he go do track and field in order to help him to run faster. Well, here he is. And, you know, and I was there when I saw him run his first race, because my own son, my youngest son at the time, was in track and field. And so I was still very interested in the sport. Well, okay, track and field and soccer are my two favorite sports, okay? Let's put it that way. So it was amazing to see this young man run and win his races, and he was brand new. I knew he was brand new. So he burst out on the field, and you know, he wasn't very tall, he wasn't very big. He was a very stocky, muscular build, a very classic sprinter physique, and I knew this guy would have a future if he was going to accept the role, going to accept the challenge, and live up to his potential. And, you know, that's what every single one of us needs to do, is to actually explore what that potential is and then make a decision and go after it. Well, in the end, Akeem Haynes ran on the relay team for Canada at the Rio Olympic Games, so in 2016. And they won a bronze medal. Now, that was due to the fact that the U.S. team, who had actually made it to third, had been disqualified, okay? But Canada ran a clean race, so that was fantastic. So we ended up with the bronze medal, and wow, that is amazing. And I was so I was so astounded and so happy to see that Akeem Haynes was still running, because so many people just give up. There have been other people in Canada who have run track and field for whom I haven't seen them ever again. So it was just amazing to see that Akeem Haynes was still running. He was 23 years old. But the thing is that when he came to Canada, he virtually had nothing. Okay, his mother, she was a single mother. They immigrated to Canada. When they first got to Calgary or to Canada, they had to stay at a friend's house in an already crowded place. They didn't have a bed for him, and even a few months, even a year before he ran that bronze medal race, he spent 6 months having nothing because there was no funding from the Canadian government. Okay, let's look at that. There's no funding. He had no support from anybody. But here he is, persevering, and he wanted to go out and get what he wanted. He didn't give up. So he slept on the floor of his training mate's apartment for 6 months, with just a sleeping bag. He had nothing, no utensils, no dishes. He had nothing except what he had, his training clothes. And I can't even imagine what he was eating, but I'm sure he was trying his very best to eat as healthily as possible on a very limited budget. But, the thing is that he overcame everything. His coach finally found out after 6 months that he was sleeping on the floor and made things change, okay? So he persevered and he did not give up. He went for his goal. And even though at first, he didn't look at running as a possibility, it was just to get faster so he could play football better. And even though he won the city championships and then later the provincials up here in Alberta, he still wasn't that interested. But later on, he started to get offers from schools in the United States. And that's when he realized, hey, there might be something to this, okay? So the thing is that things do happen when you keep up what you're trying to do. And even though you struggle, it's very, very possible that you can overcome those obstacles, no matter how long it takes, and that you can achieve the goal that you are looking for. Because without perseverance, without faith, you cannot achieve anything. If you give up at the first sign of an obstacle, of the first sign of a challenge, then you're never going to ever know if you could achieve that potential or not. Akeem Haynes is just one of many stories that I'm going to be telling you each week from this point on for the foreseeable future. Stories that will hopefully inspire you and spur you on to your own goals so that you too can achieve what you want to achieve. And that is the whole point for doing anything. It's the whole point for being alive today, because you were put on this earth for a reason. You're put here for a reason. So today, Akeem now enjoys a sponsorship from Puma. So the same people that sponsor his teammate Andre DeGrasse and Usain Bolt. He now has funding from the Canadian government. He is now able to support himself and to do even better in the sport that he loves. Bonjour. Because he persevered, and now he's being rewarded. The thing is about this young man is that he's a sprinter by day, but his coaches say that he is has a very wise mind. So he's like a 70-year-old, they say, because he's a real philosopher king. And that he's already written a book about how to overcome hardships in life. This is a young man who is already imparting his wisdom to people to help them to get better as well. Can you imagine how wonderful that really is? Thank you so much. Can you imagine how wonderful that is, that he is already sharing his message and that he is living the life and proving that, what happens when you do persevere and have faith in yourself, which is what this particular installment, what this particular story is all about. So, yeah, have a goal, have a plan, go after it. The path to that goal is never ever going to be straight. It never will be linear. There's going to be people getting in your way. There's going to be events, situations that are going to get in your way. But be ruthless. Not in the way of being mean to other people, but being ruthless about going through each one of these obstacles until you get to your goal. And that's the message today. Okay? Have an awesome day, and I'll see you next week. And if you know anybody who's suffering from a concussion or post-concussion syndrome, please send them to Amazon.com to pick up my best-selling book, Heal Your Concussion, How to Quickly and Effectively Get Back in the Game. So take care, and thank you so much for your wonderful hearts. Bye.